For those of you who've never taken apart a Quest front wheel and strut, it really wasn't that difficult. At least it wasn't on mine. The ball joint nuts and bolts and whatnot weren't rusted in place or anything like that, so they still had movement, and I was able to get the nuts off relatively easily. Of course, the strut normally sits up in here. Came out pretty easy. I took off my wheel afterwards, but undid the two little screws that are for the retaining portion for the top of the strut. Mine had some little, I don't know, what do you call these little, some kind of bushings or dampeners or whatever on it. So I was looking at it, and of course when I took it apart and started dumping the springs out, this was because I had the movement in the strut and that rattle. I was trying to figure out what it was. So as I took them apart, there was one spring here that came out in 3 pieces. So and it maybe even 4 pieces. It's hard to tell. Yep, it's 4 pieces. So if I really start messing with this, but it's all greasy and grimy, I'm not going to really mess with it too much. But you can see that the spring was broken in a couple of places. So it looks like I'll be ordering some new springs. And that should take care of the rattle in the right front of my Velo. So I'll get some new springs and get them replaced. Instructions, of course, for this part aren't much help, because they just talk about actually taking the strut out so you can work on the brakes and that kind of thing, but they don't really talk about working on the actual insides of the strut. But I've seen Suvlaki, or whatever his name is, on the internet, has taken some really good videos of doing this repair. Pretty easy to replace the springs though. Alright, that's it.